So the Golden State Warriors have their new general manager, and we're going to talk about it here on the show. This is Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Hope all of you are getting set to have a fantastic weekend. This breaking news coming down earlier this morning that the Warriors have promoted Mike Dunleavy Jr. to replace Bob Myers. Before we dive into that, make sure you subscribe to the show because when breaking news happens, we are here to dissect it, we're here to talk about it, and we're here to allow you to learn about the game of basketball and the Warriors. Year-round Dubs coverage. Lock us in and subscribe today. So Adrian Wojnarowski breaking the news here this morning that the Warriors executive, Mike Dunleavy Jr., has agreed to a deal to become the franchise's new general manager. Dunleavy Jr. had a 15-year NBA playing career, and he is elevating in the front office to replace Bob Myers, who stepped down after 4 titles in 9 years. More from Woj on what Dunleavy Jr. is going to be able to bring to the table. He's 42 years old right now, elevating from vice president of basketball operations. He is going to replace former president and general manager Bob Myers. He stepped down after those 4 championships over the last 9 years, of course. He did spend 11 total seasons in the Bay Area. Dunleavy's representatives at Excel Sports Management finalized talks on a new long-term deal with owner Joe Lacob on Thursday, sources said. A news conference is set for Monday to introduce the former player and now the executive as the official face of this front office for Golden State. So I want to hear from you down in the comment section right now. Do you like the promotion of Mike Dunleavy Jr., or were you hoping that the Warriors went with an external name? If you like the hire, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. If not, I want you to comment why. Obviously, Joe Lacob, the owner of this organization, was a part of this decision-making process because he's the one who's calling the shots. And he had a lot of nice positive things to say about Dunleavy Jr. He's worked alongside him over the last few years, saying he's young, he's energetic, he has established numerous relationships around the league and communicates well with players and coaches. All important traits in this business. Mike's ready for this challenge, and he's ready for this responsibility. And he has large shoes to fill because Myers is going to go down as one of the most successful and one of the best basketball executives in the history of the NBA. A 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time NBA Executive of the Year. He re-signed Klay Thompson. He signed Kevin Durant. He drafted Draymond Green. He made the trade for Andre Iguodala and constructed these rosters, helping lift the Warriors to those NBA championships. His background, pretty impressive. He played his college ball and then started to get into the sports realm. Got his law degree from Loyola. 14 years as a sports agent before becoming a member of the Dubs front office in 2011, hired as the assistant general manager the next year, promoted to general manager, and on top of some of the moves that he made that I just discussed, he also hired Steve Kerr as well. More from Woj on Dunleavy Jr. He's going to join executive vice president of basketball operations Kirk Lacob in larger decision-making roles for the team. Dunleavy Jr. got drafted 3rd overall in 2002, spending 4+ seasons with the Dubs. Dunleavy played 15 seasons in the NBA before retiring. Myers hired him as a scout back in 2018, and his rise in the Warriors front office has been rapid. As for what Dunleavy did in his NBA playing career, this dude was a sniper from downtown, the quintessential Duke Blue Devil, playing for Coach Mike Krzyzewski back in the day, 11 points per game. And this came in an era when not a lot of guys took a lot of three-pointers. That cannot be said for Dunleavy. He was not scared of letting it fly. 44% from the floor, nearly 38% from downtown on about 5.5 three-point attempts per night. And I think that this level of familiarity, it's important. It's valuable. I do think that Dunleavy Jr. already has built-in relationships within this organization, which is important, of course, but also it's some new blood in there where maybe he's not necessarily tied to this core right now, and Bob Myers may have been, which could have kept him from breaking apart this core which would have been to the detriment of this team as we propel forward into the next era as the Warriors try to configure a roster to get back to that championship contention. A lot more thoughts on this coming up around the corner, as well as all of the moves that await and some of the large decisions that loom for Dunleavy Jr. But first, if you want to look fresh this summer, you'll look fresh in this polo here. Chatsports.com/Warriors Polo. Get geared up right now. Use that link down below. It's available for you in the comment section and in the description of this video. As for the major decisions that Dunleavy Jr. might have to make, are the Warriors this offseason going to trade Jonathan Kuminga? Will the Dubs move Jordan Poole? According to Mark Spears of ESPN, teams are calling and asking about the availability of Jordan Poole. Those are two critical portions of this offseason that Dunleavy Jr. may or may not pull the trigger on. What happens with another young player in Moses Moody? I thought he gave this team really good minutes in that second round against the Lakers with his defensive tenacity, and he can shoot the three ball. Defense and shooting threes, very important in today's NBA. Then you have a couple of decisions here that also loom large. Klay Thompson entering the final year of his contract. Steve Kerr going into the final year of his deal. Bob Myers was the one who hired Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr was very tight with Bob Myers. Is Steve Kerr going to want to move on? Does he want a change of scenery? Is he a little bit worn down by having to coach so much and so deep given the Warriors' playoff success? And for Klay, look, some reports out there, he might demand $30, $40+ million. And with his struggles against the Los Angeles Lakers, do the Warriors want to give him all that money for a player who was injured a lot a couple of years ago, the ACL and the Achilles, and his play starting to decline a little bit, and he's not the defensive player that he once was? Another big decision as part of this core, alongside Klay Thompson and Steve Kerr. Draymond Green has that player option. He's, too, going to be looking for a contract extension. The Warriors do have a draft pick in the first round, 19th overall. Do they trade some of those aforementioned young players to try to move up, or do they stand pat to get a young player who can fill out the bench unit? There is buzz behind the Warriors trading up for sure. I do think that Golden State needs to add a little bit of depth. Could that come in that front court? Is it going to come in that back court? And then which free agents are the Warriors going to sign externally, and which free agents could the Dubs decide to re-sign, like a player that includes the name of Donte DiVincenzo? For Mike Dunleavy Jr., he's going to be crossed with this decision as well, and he's going to have to pose this question to the front office and ownership. How do we balance winning right now, Steph Curry being 35 years old, and not sacrificing the future? Or do we want to look ahead to the future here and sacrifice winning now? I don't think that's smart, because I think it is very, very wise for Golden State to try to go all in, put your poker chips to the middle of the table, and capitalize on Steph Curry being in his prime still. The Warriors' free agents here, Donte DiVincenzo, he shot around 40% from three this past year. Good player coming in off the bench. He's also a spot starter. He has a player option. Draymond Green has that player option, and JaMychal Green, an unrestricted free agent. So those are your free agents for Golden State. So with that, let's round out with this, your level of confidence in the Warriors with Mike Dunleavy Jr. leading the charge in that front office. I want you to scale that level of confidence for me from 1 to 10 down in the comment section. 1, not confident at all. 10, very, very confident. Let me know. And if you want to interact with me on Twitter and Instagram, you can find me there at Chase_Senior. Don't be shy. Slide in the DMs. Say what's up and say, Chase, love the show. Chase, hate the show. Whatever you want. Look forward to hearing from you.